We are back with another Brennan Willard podcast brought to you by Ozark Harley-Davidson at Lake of the Ozarks and also by Schaefer's Oil. Kevin Stubblefield, as we are into September and racing is heating up, isn't it?
It is. We had our only off week unless we decide to go watch the drag races, right? But only off weekend of the month for us and our program. And then back to Planet Mars this weekend, headed to one of my favorite racetracks in Davenport, Iowa, and then Quincy on Sunday. So 3 nights of racing, and here we go. It's the dog days of our schedule, but what we've been ready and waiting forward to try to make some ground and get some better finishes.
Couple of 5,000 to win Friday at Davenport, and also Sunday at Quincy. 10,000 at Davenport on Saturday.
Awesome race, really good racetrack. Davenport's kind of the racing's changed. You know, they used to race in the big half mile, and now they built a little quarter mile. It's a lot like Springfield in the infield, and that's thankfully the only racetrack I've ever raced on there. But anyway, it's a really cool racetrack, and they'll pack the place that night, and then kind of handy. Quincy's on the way home, so wish we weren't racing Sunday night just because my kids are in school, but it is what it is. And but the good news is it's on the way home, so for us, and it's one of the closest weekends. The next couple weekends aren't too bad for us. I say not too bad, and we're 6 hours one and 4 hours the other, but Aaron over here's wearing me out because I can race 5 minutes from home, but commitments are commitments. So, but no, it'll be a fun weekend, and looking forward to that. Getting back, in the swing of things for us, and then hey, maybe we'll get lucky and get rained out next Saturday night, and we'll come to I-44 and run a double. So we will have our car ready to go. Our pavement car will be ready to go on notice. So I will give you that, but kind of pretty cool deal. I want to take the time. We got some announcements here. So doing a little partnership this week with Ozark Harley-Davidson with our asphalt car. It's going to be on display starting for the entirety of Bike Week. So if you're going to Bike Week, go down there, go see Rusty Wallace and Southern Country Customs. They make the most badass Harleys in the world. When I end up owning one of these, I'm not careful. That's the last thing I need. But
then you'd be going to Sturgis.
Yes, but I don't need this in my life. But it's a lot of fun. They're beautiful bikes, and anything Rusty Wallace does is first class. So they're going to our car's going to be right there alongside his bike display. They have actually the hauler Steven used to race out of is what they use to take it down there. But a lot of NASCAR guys will be there. If you're a motorcycle person, you already know about Bike Fest at Lake of the Ozarks. It's a huge deal, but I think it's the second largest, turned into the second largest one, I think, in the world now. So huge deal, and but excited to do this partnership with them. Hopefully it'll bring people to. Aaron's got a small little event going on this weekend, and maybe it can raise awareness for his event. But you're our guest, so what do you got? What in the world do you? First off, what the hell happened to you? When did you hit your head? When did you decide you wanted to run a racetrack? Like, I mean, what are you doing?
It's an addiction. You know that. You know that more than anybody.
Yes.
It's just, we raced when we were kids, and the track shut down, and it just all came around, and it's kind of a chance you take. It's went well though.
Yeah.
I mean, we was talking, we've had one rough night this year, but it's went well, and my family loves doing it. It's just a lot of work, a lot of time.
So this weekend is what they call
American Big Rigs.
There we go. Big rig race. So the biggest event at I-44 that they've had to date, bigger than Chase Elliott coming in, bigger than John Hunter. I mean, you can name all the NASCAR drivers that have raced there since it went back pavement since 2010. Which is about half the field. I mean, this Carson, multiple times he's been there, right? And nobody cares. They want to see this big rig series, which is, I will say, one of the coolest things that you'll ever see in person is this big rig series. So if you've never been, I always tell everybody it bugs the living crap out of me that we'll sell out for this and people won't come for you'll have half the crowd for a normal race, but it is a once in a lifetime deal to see. They're going to be at 4 State Chrome Shop Mafia Friday.
Yes.
And then What times everything start on Saturday?
So the racing starts at 6, gates open at 3. If there's a line up the hill, we'll probably have to open up early.
So here's the deal on tier parking. Yeah. It's going to be like it was. So when I was in high school, and we may have told this on the show before, but I had a hell of an advantage if I parked my Camaro in line and then go home, and my grandpa would call me, and that was the rule. He was like, listen, when I call you, you've got 20 minutes to get your, and hit the way he talked, get your little ass over there in 20 minutes or, you're losing your spot. And we'd park my car over there way early in the morning, and we'd go get in line. Well, it was about 3 o'clock. And this was a weekly show. This wasn't a special. This wasn't nothing. About 3 o'clock, you'd have to go pull your car into your parking. And at that point, I wanted to be at the racetrack anyway, so it was whatever. But it was just kind of cool the way that works. And I think you've had people from as far away as Maine.
Buffalo, New York.
I don't think it gets any further away than that.
Yeah, I think Buffalo, New York is the furthest. But, back to what you said about the line, and you remember this, one of my favorite things is going to the racetrack, when you were as a racer, is to pull in and say hi to everybody as you're going down the hill. It was cool. The coolest thing.
That is cool. And I think it's going to be a really, I'm not telling you got to get there at 3 o'clock to get a spot in tier parking, but you better get there at 3 o'clock, and you get to bring your barbecue grill. You get to bring a cooler of Busch Light. You get to go have a good time and be all tuned up before the races start at 6 or 7.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
And the cool thing, I talked to them this morning. They run qualifying. They run heat races, and my dad's favorite thing, you remember, they used to call it King of the Hill, but they call it Eliminator now, where 2 trucks come out.
Yep.
The winner stays out, another truck comes out. But it's really cool with the semis because they give it all they got to try to opponent.
Another thing, the heat, Jerry Hoffman is the best promoter, we all agree, in this area. And I was like, man, I hope this heat doesn't hurt everybody. And he's like, hey, it's September heat. It may get 95 degrees, but that 95 degrees is at 3 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, it's going to be about 70.
Yeah, it's different.
And so it's going to be perfect weather. At 6 o'clock, it's going to be perfect. You can't get better weather. Everybody's going to have a good time. So you're going to see black smoke. I'll put some videos up on my personal Facebook page of 2017. I got some videos and pictures of that.
Lots of sparks. They spark a lot.
Sparks. They had a hell of a wreck the one year, and that was pretty cool to see. I didn't like it, but whatever. It was people loved it. But it is a sight to see, and it'll be a lot of fun on this Saturday night, then season championship next Saturday, right?
Yep.
So
plus you get to see all the other cars race too.
So there is support classes on
Saturday. They're all going to be there.
That's what sucks for us as being out of town is you're going to race in front of a full house. And so the good news is people get to see a good late model race, a good Crown Vic race, all your other sport classes. They're going to get to see a great field of cars and a good race on Saturday night. So that'll be good. They'll get to go in there and have a good time. And
that's the night you want to win, right, Brennan? That's the night. I told somebody today, so that's the night I'd want to win with all those people.
It'd be like winning
there.
on 4th of July back in the day.
Yeah.
It'd be the same thing. Like you always want to win 4th of July on fireworks night because it's sold out. That's the same thing. Like that's important for your sponsors. And, if you've got Schaefer's Oil people in the crowd, you want to make sure you win with Schaefer's Oil people in the crowd, right? So you got to, for the racer that night, they're going to be stepped up and ready to go. So
this is going to be a Chamber of Commerce type event, though. You mentioned all of the out-of-town people. That's an economic driver that's coming to Lebanon on Saturday.
I didn't tell anybody this, but I called some of the hotels in town just to see, and they're full. You can't get a hotel in Lebanon for Saturday night now.
So that's pretty awesome. That's what you want is the economic impact of the racetrack in Lebanon is going to be felt again like it used to be this weekend. There's been several other events that they felt it. And it takes a big event like this once a year. This is the World 100 of I-44 this weekend. That crowd that you saw there, you will see again. That is crazy.
It was crazy. The picture, I told my wife, I said, I'd die if I seen that.
3 hours before the races, and they had to shut the gates down. No more pit passes, no more tickets. And that place holds 22,000 people in the seats. Not counting pit passes, 22,000 people on the outside. So,
that's crazy.
You think they made any money?
Yeah, they made some money.
I think Tony will be okay.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Here's what's cool is I was talking to one of my buddies, and they hold the rigs in the infield for an hour and a half after the race is all they hold them for. They got the traffic flow. I mean, it ain't like going into I-44 where you got an interstate system there. They don't, I mean, it's like 2-lane road. It'd be like going to Midway. Like literally this racetrack is on a 2-lane highway. It's not on an interstate. And they said about an hour and a half, you can get right in and drive right out. So they've got a pretty good, I'm assuming you're not getting in. But speaking of Chinese fire drills, that actually happened to us on the way to Spoon River. So we left after, in the Mars drivers meeting. This is life on the road. I swear we can make a reality show of us. So everybody leaves and convoys to the next racetrack after Fairbury. And they're like, hey, they got a live band. They're having qualifying night. Everybody wants to get over there. I'm like, well, we want to get a parking spot. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and go. Hour and a half, we can make it. So we pull into Spoon River right as they're letting the races out. It is a 1-lane road. And so Jeff Herzog's the leader somehow, this convoy. And I'm following, it was Jeff, Tony, me, all in tractor trailers. And this road is 18 foot wide. And we pull in. Well, I'm sitting on the state highway, and I'm like, what is Jeff doing? Like, why are we sitting in the road, like, getting mad? Then I look. They finally get where I can pull in. Well, now we got a standoff. We got people leaving in dualies and trailers, and we got semis, and there's ditches. It was a mess getting in and out of there. So you don't have that I-44. It's just straight, get in and out. Nobody's going against traffic. You can get right in and out of there.
I told Dad we probably need to clean that upper gate up. And see
just in case
people can go out that way. Kind of helps a bunch.
Yes, it does. Out of tier parking when they go out that way. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I know a guy that can probably help you with the tractor up there. So that'll be a big deal. But pretty cool you brought that back. There's a lot of big things happening in the off season for I-44, even though it's still the season. You've got a couple more things you're going to announce. I know coming up. We won't spoil the news, but. A lot of big things coming. Yeah.
Show Me Chaos is coming too. That's cool.
Yes. Trucks. Again, showing our age. Yeah. We don't understand that either.
No. October.
How many?
3rd and
1,500 people went into the pits that day to watch trucks do burnouts in the rain?
438 trucks, I think.
In the rain.
In the rain. Pouring rain, where the water was running like a river. I couldn't believe it. Stuff like that. That's what's crazy is, like Brennan said, that people don't come to watch big late model race or something, but they'll come to watch trucks do a burnout, a sit-and burnout. It's just crazy anymore how the kids love that stuff. And the drift event, October the 11th, is really cool too. 2 or 3 cars drifting side by side is really cool.
So you're jam-packed through the month of October then.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So a lot of going on there.
I'll try to put a big late model race on early next year, maybe.
That'd be awesome.
Get a bunch of guys here.
So I was looking at pictures. Tim Barrier posted pictures. I'm sure you saw them this morning from July of 2011 of the late model race that night. Justin Jennings is in this picture, who raced a lot of truck races for Mittler. I think is still at Penske. Last I knew was pretty sure on Ryan Blaney's team, won a championship as a car chief for Ryan Blaney, I think. Tony Jackson's in this picture. There's a lot of people in this picture. Grant Sharp was in it. Chrissy Wallace was in it. Like they were Robert Baltzell, like 3-4 wide and just digging. Back in the exciting early, mid 2000s, I don't know what you call that, 2010 era, I guess.
Right after
it reopened. Yeah, and like I was watching that, and I'm like, if you think about these late model races, how in the world, like tier parking was full that night.
Oh yeah,
and how in the world we didn't all wreck more than we did. I mean, you had 30 laps to start 16th. That's a car every 2 laps. Everybody in really equal motors. You really need, and that's what people don't understand, you need to be 2 to 3 tenths of a second faster than the car in front of you to pass them without them making a mistake. And so you're thinking, you got to pass a car every 2 laps. You don't think about it back then. You would have never done it. And why we didn't have more Talladega wrecks, because the fast cars started in the back, and it was chaos for the first. And that's why the grandstands were packed. You announced those races.
Absolutely.
Probably the most exciting races, like you'll still to this day.
Well, just like you said on the times, like your last late model race at Lebanon a few weeks ago, Sam's down there, and we didn't have the advantage then of having my race pass, but
Right.
there was times when you was turning faster times than Dylan was, and it's just back and forth, and just to have that little bit of extra always helps. And
If the second row would have got their act together on that restart, I beat him to 1. And they had to call it back. It's the second row. I don't know what the heck they were doing. I beat Dylan to 1, had the lead, but I did everything I had. Every trick that I had, I showed my hand because there's like 6 to go. That was my chance to win the race. And I don't think Dylan and I both agree. Whoever was out front was going to win at that point with the way that is. The thing about pavement racing, people got to understand, it's just like the World 100. The biggest late model race of the year is 100 lap, dirt late model race is 100 laps long. It shows tire wear. You could see on lap 20, Jonathan Davenport had a tire going down. You could tell by the way his car was acting. Dale McDowell came from, I think, 19th to 2nd. That doesn't happen in a 30-lap race. You need a 100-lap race, and you need people to open up their attention span to see that. Just like asphalt racing, you need a 150-lap race, 100 to 150-lap race where you have a full tire run. That way, you have a way of punishing a guy for abusing his tires. Because a 50-lap race the other night, I tried to save my tires. I realized about lap 40, there was no point of saving your tires. They're not earmuffs. They're not a great tire to begin with, so they're not going to fall off like you want. Now, in a 100-lap race, they are. In lap 80 to, if you have a 125-lap race from lap 80 to lap 125, you're skating on ice, you're driving the car, and it just takes that long for the surface to wear, for the tire to get slick, and it's just a different form of racing, and that's what people got to understand. If you're going to the dirt race, you're going to see what you're going to see passing-wise in 5 laps, and then it's going to kind of get strung out and get boring. Asphalt, you got to give it a minute, and you got to, in an era where everybody's wanting a 30-second TikTok video, that's where it gets a little challenging. Why the semi-trucks are such a big deal, because they're just blowing smoke, and you've never seen this thing in your life, and it's cool to all get out to watch, and you can't see half of it because there's so much black smoke, and it is a spectacle that's going to be awesome to see, but different for sure.
I want to ask Aaron, how big is the addition of the Crown Vic class been to I-44 Speedway? And as you look ahead, kind of rub the crystal ball, and how big do you think that can be eventually?
I think it can be really big. I was talking this morning, there's 27 Crown Vics registered at Lebanon I-44 Speedway. It seems like the most we've had is 23. If everybody would just show up one time, 27 would be awesome to see race. Right. 23 was awesome to see racing. They're getting a little bit of aggressive. Brennan will tell you it was hot outside.
My opinion, the most fun race of the night to watch will be the Crown Vics when their tires get hot.
Yeah.
Same thing we were just talking about. And that's where it's tough for Aaron to balance this. If you can make the Crown Vics run 30 laps every week, it'd be awesome, because from lap 15 to 30, they have no control over the race car. The tires are junk.
They actually love the long distance. I mean, after that night we run, what was it, 30 we run?
Yeah.
They loved it. They all wanted to run.
Yeah, the 20-lap race you had the other night was perfect. Like from lap 12 to 20, it was exciting. It was exciting. And that's what the beauty of watching the races in person is. There might be a great battle for 8th that you can't see on TV, because TV's focusing on what they should be. And the battle for 8th is 3 wide beating the crap out of each other, and just very exciting to watch. And that's, to me, Crown Vics have saved short track racing on pavement, in my opinion.
I think Terry told me at Salem, I think there was 88 Crown Vics a couple weeks ago. They had to run like 6 features. And I honestly believe we could have 30. We've got lots of guys. I know 3 guys in Marshfield are building some, and it's just keep building it. It's what makes people love the Crown Vics. It's like the old Bomber days. I mean, I'd rather watch the Bombers a long time ago, squalling around there, and all of us were friends and just having a good time, and that's what it's about. And as Brennan, I want to mention something. He talks about the heat difference in the late models of his dirt late model and his asphalt late model. we had 2 laps to go, 1 lap to go. We had a motor blow up. Brennan and Dylan sitting over there, and guys, it was hot. We was getting water, and it was so cool. I asked all the drivers, "What do you want to do?" We said, "Well, it's not going to end no different. Let's not tear no cars up." But people don't realize the heat. And I noticed you talk about they were hot that night, and it's just totally different.
So I had a water bottle in my car that night, and I never tried it out before the feature. And so,
oh shit!
So I'm like on the parade lap, I'm biting this thing and trying to get this. It's got like a hose, and it's for my dirt car, but I'm like, what? I don't have the like this T-Mac and JD run like a little deal, and you push a button and water comes out. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not that old. So I get out there, and I always had this same kind of system when I was racing pavement, and I would get water through always under red or yellow. And you don't know how hot it is till you're under red. Which, when that yellow come out, I'm like, the race is over. Please don't make us sit through a red flag. Like, it's going to be a 30-minute cleanup. Everybody's going to leave. It's not going to matter because none of us are going to go hard through that oil and junk our. Well, we probably would because we're stupid, but nobody's wanting to go hard through the oil. But, man, it gets hot because you have no air circulating. I won't run a cool suit like if I was running a 400-lap race maybe, but yeah, it was pretty warm. And but yeah, my drink system wasn't working.
Oh my gosh!
So I actually took the thing off, undid the bottle, just dumped the. I've never done this in my life. I've never dumped water on myself for being hot, and that was the first time I've ever been that hot in a car. So
it was hot.
That was miserable, but it was fun until then, until we were sitting under red, and that was 49 and a half laps under green, so we were pretty tired anyway. But
yeah,
a lot of fun there. And speaking of racing, so Midway had the Bill Ragland Memorial. Awesome to see that many B-mods. They had a great turnout. Midway's had 2 really good events.
Close to 70 car count, I think.
Yeah, it was good, and like to see that. If you're a tech guy, and this is not a knock against Clint or anybody with Midway, I'm going to say that before this, because Clint Gann hired a tech guy. If a guy starts on the pole of a heat race and he takes 8 laps to drive this car back to third, and it takes him all 8 laps, as Ken Schrader says, to drive this thing back to third, when he goes across the scales, he's good on weight, and then he goes to the tech shed, and you see something that is a non-performance advantage. I understand it's in the rule book. I get rules are rules. Your job as a tech guy is to enforce the rules. It is a freaking heat race. When you see a distributor cap that's not the right color, it's an MSD distributor, and it's got to be a stock or stock A pairing. Because there's the problem with this rule. And this is a USRA problem, and a USRA has the dumbest damn rules in these history. How they get so many cars in the B-mod class, it is stupid because they have the stupidest rules ever. They have good set of rules. Then they change them to this manufacturer's winning too many races, so it's got to be this. This motor's winning too many races, so it's got to be this. You've got a car that is 20 years old with a crate motor in it, with a distributor in there that came with the crate motor. I understand that it needs to be changed. Peek your little head in there and tell the guy, hey, man, that distributor's not right. You need to get that changed before the feature. Don't bring it back into the tech shed. He's not going to finish in the tech shed in the feature anyways, but that's neither here nor there. Tell him to make the change and go on about your night. Instead, you DQ the guy. Like I said, not the track promoter or owner's fault, because the track owner don't have time to be down there. It's your job as a tech man to not be a dumbass. And that is straight up stupidity. Reach your head in the guy's window and say, hey, man, get this fixed and don't bring it back. Now, if they bring it back in the feature, then you DQ them. Because what happens is you DQ the car. First time that car's been at your racetrack all year. This is where it puts the track owner in a bind. That car's not been to your racetrack all year. Didn't know the rule. Their fault, yes. Black and white rule, sure. Use some common sense. Now they have to explain to everybody why they got DQ'd in a heat race, that they didn't win. If you start third in a heat race and you half lap the field, there might be a reason to throw somebody out. But to throw somebody out for third, that they were going to start 15th in the feature, now they got to start 20th. Like, you have to use common sense as a tech guy. Not Midway's fault. They paid a guy money. a new guy to come in who I understand they paid a lot of money to officiate their program right. Like, just because you have a USAC shirt on that says official doesn't mean that you are the right official. No disrespect to USAC. That was Jack Hewitt line. That's what KMD moment.
Where's the performance deal? I guess
you have a bunch of people making rules and sanctioning bodies that have never driven in a race car. Now, Todd Staley does race, but Todd's got people, same thing. And I'm not calling out Todd, but I am. You make rules, whether it's PowerEye, USRA, whatever sanctioned body you want. You have people telling you rules, and you have Jim Bob's chassis manufacturer over here saying that Billy Bob's got a performance advantage. So by God, this is what he's doing in that rule book. If a rule is, you put a rule book out in January of that year, honestly, November, your rule book needs to come out for the next year. You have to know what you're teching. Like, they want to straighten the dirt late model bodies up, right? Like, everybody talks about it. It's the most talked about thing in my world. Guess what? You can't do it right now. The only way to straighten our bodies up is to make an announcement October 1st that says, hey, come January 1st, your car's got to go through a box. Otherwise, they're going to be skewed, because guess what? We have all done this it doesn't cost us any extra money to bend sheet metal a certain way. We just work harder. A distributor that is an MSD distributor is not costing you any more money than this stock appearing distributor. Because what happens when you put a stock part is, racers are racers. We are our own worst enemy. You will go find, it's just like a Brzezinski head. Back in...
That was the thing.
That was the thing when you were racing street stocks. Everybody had Brzezinski heads and a lightweight crank.
Yep.
They had a great motor rule at I-44, and by golly, if they pulled cranks out, half the field was going to get DQ'd because they're like, surely to God, they're not going to pull my crank out. Like, racers are our own worst enemy. The best thing that ever happened, what made the Big Ten class years ago good at I-44 was they put a 4-barrel motor in. Then your 20-pound crank didn't matter.
Yep.
Like, you have to have people making your rules that understand that what is saving the racer money and what is costing the racer money. Because every time you make a rule, it is costing the racer money. An MSD distributor that was in that car, they had to go buy a different one. So you've made somebody that's showing up at your racetrack go buy another part that they've already had. Just use some common sense and like realize what you're going to do, because every rule change costs money. Like, if you go and make a change and say, we got to have a Gleason rear end and can't have a spool next year, we all got to spend $1,500. If you go make a transmission, hot topic at I-44 years ago was transmissions. They're like, oh, you got to get rid of them. I'm like, okay, perfect. Now I got to go buy a $3,500 Bird or Brin that I can only run at this racetrack. And then when they say, well, you can buy used one for $1,500, perfect. But you still have to get rid of what you have in your car. And then you have to change bell housing. You got to change everything.
To do it all.
The time. Yeah. Like, you have to. So every time there's a rule change, it's got to work back and forth. So that's my rant for the day. But like, use some common sense and rules. Like, you do a good job on your Crown Vic rules. They look good. The late model rules at I-44 are good. Like, I went, raced in there. I didn't have, like, I hadn't been on pavement in 6 years. Like, I felt like the rule package was good. I still think if you have a 100-lap race, if you announce a 100-lap race tomorrow, a crate car will have an advantage. And that's the way it needs to be. Where a 50-lap race, built motor has an advantage. Like, you have to have it. You
have to have that option.
Yes. And that's what makes comers and goers. And that's what makes racing great. Like, Eldora was good because it had different people and different tire strategy. That's what makes passing good. Gateway sold out. Why did Gateway sell out for the 15th year in a row since Chris Blair's taken over? He made it an event. They had Little John was playing. Like, we got a NASCAR race, a Little John and John Party were the concert people. Like, you can't get from more far ends of the perspective, right?
Yep.
He made an event and a NASCAR race broke out, and they sell out every year. It's the same as what you're doing with the big rig race. That's what racing's got to be, is you got to bring in a new fan. A person that listens to Lil John's probably not going to the NASCAR race, right? They did that week because they got to go to Lil John, and then a NASCAR race broke out before or after it. So it's just a way of getting people in the stands the big rig series is going to be awesome because you're going to get people in the stands, and it's really going to show, hey, there might be, Johnny might see a late model going around there and be like, I want an asphalt late model, Dad. And that's what you hope happens.
Yeah, in like the bandos, the
That
kids
class.
in the stands. I mean,
we not talked about them. I know we're running short on time. A bandolero costs how much? A really good one.
brand new and $7,500.
Brand new.
Brand new.
There you go. Get your kid ready. You can't go kart. Go kart racing costs more than that.
Yeah, and I honestly can tell you, Sam, I have not changed a tire all year. He's run the same set all year, and he's won 3 races. And Brennan's boy come down and drove it, and
blast.
He
Totally tore it up.
It's the thing is if you want to get into it, it's a cheap, fun way to hang out with your kid, and they're fun. They're fun to watch. I mean, side by side racing about the whole time.
What we talked about this in the show a while back. Everybody's got to remember that you're going to the racetrack, and you talked about it earlier. This is where you go have fun. This is your golf game. We are all competition will kill you, and we all leave, you want to win, and that's what takes the fun out of it. But watching a kid go out there and race and seeing those kids get to race for their first races is pretty cool to watch. And like you said, the racing's really good too. So that little track's got a lot of things you can do on it. Still want to see a Crown Vic race in the little track, but I know they probably won't go for it, but I want to do it. That'd be fun. But a lot of cool things going. I-44 Speedway.com. Yep. What's the website?
It's Lebanon. It's actually LebanonI-44Speedway.com. There's Perfect. 2 or 3 on there because we had
so many. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't even want to talk about that.
So Facebook, Lebanon I-44 Speedway. Probably see some of these clips on there. You want tickets? Show up at the gate.
Yep.
They can seat 10,000 people. You don't have to worry about not being able to get a ticket.
If we had 10,000, I would faint.
If you get 10,000, we're having a party. So, go out there, have a good time on Saturday night, and be a lot of fun to watch.
It'll be fun. The drivers are excited. I've talked to a few of them. Come look at them trucks. That's the cool thing too, is looking at them, not just the racing. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they are.
They're pretty cool to look at.
Well, you get to see a snowman drive around there and have a good time, right?
Oh, the rubber duck's going to be here too. Of Convoy.
Okay.
He's coming. He's bringing that truck off of
the Smoking the Bandit truck?
The Convoy movie back when me and you were babies.
Okay. This is Kevin's era.
Yeah, Kevin, tell us about do you remember the rubber duck? I mean,
You know what? I saw C.W. McCall do a concert at a Kansas City Royals game. So there's a tie.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's coming. So that'd be pretty cool too to see and like I said, the Crown Vics. I just think it's just fun. It's just a class where if you want to race and you want to spend. Tim Brown, we all know Tim Brown very well. He's a good, hard racer. He still tells me this day it's so cool that he never really had to work on it. I know people don't believe that, but you can load him up and not do really anything to him and come back and race Saturday night.
Greg Biffle's retired. He goes and races Crown Vics and does his sand rails. And he built him a Crown Vic track in his backyard. And that's how him and Cletus McFarland through helicopters and all that. But all those guys go and race Crown Vics for fun.
Yeah.
So it's really a good class and it's a lot of fun. If you've never been in racing or you want to go racing the cheapest way possible, get a Crown Vic. And if you lose your mind and want to get a pavement late model, holler at me and I can point you in the right way. But a lot of fun. And that's the biggest thing is remember how much fun it is and go watch the races Saturday and have fun. And then you can go to here's the cool part. You can go to I-44 and watch the big rig races and you can check us out on Flow. So there you go. It's easy.
Exactly right.
That's the plan. Aaron, appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Dave, good luck at Davenport and Quincy this weekend.
We will need it and be fun to go back to Davenport. Finally getting to go to a racetrack that I've been to with the Mars guys again. So it's been a little bit since I've been there, but excited to get back.
Appreciate you joining us today from the studios of LEB TV, and it's been brought to you by Ozark Harley Davidson at Osage Beach and by Schaefer's Oil. Thanks for joining us.